What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm not gonna lie, I feel a little bit bad because I've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes and I haven't really been able to show you guys anything. So you've noticed probably that my Instagram has been a little bit bland and vague, and also, I haven't really been posting any kind of crazy videos, like anything in depth or whatever. And that's because we're working on the top quad stuff. If you guys are familiar, Top Quad is something that I came up with JST, Justin Sturgill Trucking. He's another YouTuber. We're both building a sport quad. It's supposed to be a $3,000 budget, and then we're gonna have a competition. There's gonna be some other YouTubers there. It's gonna be a pretty cool production. Put a lot of time into this thing, but we don't want to actually release any of the footage until everything is done being filmed, at least the competition portion. So that won't be filmed until October 24th and 25th. So there's gonna be a little bit of time here where I can't really give you guys any details on the Top Quad stuff. So I will still have other videos on like the 250R and the Banshee and stuff like that. And we gotta get started on the YZ125, but I can't really show you guys what the Top Quad is. So also, if you guys are watching Top Quad, you might be wondering, why can't I tell you what quad I got? The whole idea is that I don't know what Justin is building, and Justin doesn't know what I'm building. If I'm putting up videos that are public showing what I'm building, chances are Justin's gonna find out, or one of you guys are gonna see it and send him a message, and vice versa. So we're trying to keep it as honest as possible, and neither of us are posting up, what we're working on. And a lot of the stuff that I've been working on, even like little parts of the motor and things like that, they're gonna give away what machine I have. You guys are really smart, and I know you're gonna be able to figure it out. So I've just kind of been staying away from that entirely. So what I figured I would do is at least let you know what's going on with the quad. And the title of this video is true, man. This thing is a total farce, and it's turning out to be a heap. I probably did not pick the best machine here. So, we had a $3,000 budget. That was the original idea, and then Justin wanted it to be out-of-pocket expense. So if I get hooked up with tires or something, that's out-of-pocket expense. For me, that would be $0. Whatever, that's what he wants to do. I'm gonna take advantage of that, and luckily we did get hooked up with Obor tires, so we are gonna have a nice fresh set of tires for this thing. That's not really necessary to make a sport quad run well, but if we're gonna have a competition, you know damn well I'm gonna get every edge that I possibly can. So we're gonna have some fresh Obor tires, and BP Racing ATV also hooked us up with some hop-up parts. I'm not gonna tell you what those parts are because I'm not trying to give any tips to Justin either. So anyways, yeah, you guys probably saw my couple of my posts. First off, this thing was in boxes, so it was a roller, and the motor was already stripped down. From what I understand, I bought it from a subscriber. He bought it in supposedly running condition, but the cases were cracked and he couldn't really drive it. But apparently it ran. So he started tearing it down and everything, lost interest in the project. It's been sitting outside, and lo and behold, now it's in my garage. So that's how the project started. I already knew it was a basket case. And even, Joe, the guy that I bought it from, he didn't really know too much about it either. I can't even blame him for any of this stuff. So here, I'm just gonna go down the list. At this point, I don't think I can find any more problems. I've been through pretty much all of the pieces and found all the issues, I think. Let's hope. So first and foremost, the cracked cases, we already knew that. I knew that going into it. Not a big deal at all because the cases actually came with the quad. Joe gave me a fresh set of cases, so that's not really a big deal anyway. And I kind of like that I'm doing an entire build on the motor, because now I know what I'm working with. And thank God, because if this thing didn't have cracked cases and it was running in the condition that it came in, it would have probably blown up in no time. So we got our new cases. Right now I have everything stripped down. That's basically what I've been doing. I came with the bottom end together. I broke the bottom end down. I cleaned all the parts and everything, inspected everything, and that's where we found the broken gear. So fifth gear has a broken tooth. If this was really a super tight budget, I could just get rid of fifth gear, but who wants to put cases back together without putting a fresh gear in here? I'd rather go over the budget and put a fresh gear in. So I'm gonna be ordering a new gear. There was an oil blockage. So the gear tooth that broke off actually got stuck in one of the oil channels, and it was causing poor oil flow. If you guys saw on Instagram, I posted up the carnage of where I split the bottom end. I've never seen oil with such a consistency, man. It was like gelatin. You could actually pick up the oil. It was that thick and gooey. Never seen anything like it. So there was horrible oil circulation. The Nerf bar nets were totally chewed up and like rotted out. Front brakes were totally shot. I pulled the front wheels off to look at the brakes. Completely rotted. like the metal backing was all rotted and the rust bubbles and everything, and the brakes were shot anyways. They had maybe 20%, 30% left. So the pistons were getting pretty tight and everything. So I rebuilt everything, put new pads in there, and I flushed the fluid out too because it was like this dark yellow, gold, cloudy color. It definitely needed to be flushed. So we got all new front brakes set up. Well, not all new, but it's all refreshed and it's nice and tight now. It feels really good. What else did we do? And the back brake was in the same condition. And even with the back brake, the rear master cylinder, the cover was put on with like a piece of debris under the cover or something, and they wrenched it down anyway, and the cover actually was twisted. So I had to get it, I have a new cover on order. But that was a mess too. That's all cleared up now. The cable, a whole bunch of the cables are shot. They're almost all totally trashed, probably just from like sitting outside. It's possible I could lubricate them and just keep playing with them and making them better, but cables are pretty cheap, so I'm probably gonna get new cables. The tires were shot. We're not really worried about that. We got the O-board tires coming through. I just discovered that this exhaust hanger is ripped off. I don't think this is gonna give away anything, but you can see, I didn't even know what this was. I thought, I'll show you this too. I don't think it really matters. I think at this point, everybody knows it's a 4-stroke, but I saw this hole, this slot in the exhaust, and I was trying to figure out if that was, like how the hell that got there. And then I found this in the bin of parts, and that's where that goes. So that's no problem. I can weld that back together. The rest of the exhaust is being rebuilt as well. I got new packing and everything. I'm going to powder coat the can and whatnot and make this thing look like brand new. All right, where are we at? Exhaust hanger ripped off, we got that. The clutch fingers, holy hell. I'm trying to think if I can show that. Clutch baskets are pretty universal. Well, I'm just gonna tell you guys about it because I'm telling you, you guys are smart, man. I showed a couple things and people were getting tipped off, and I'm like, how do you guys know this stuff? So you guys have probably seen on clutch baskets, the fingers get little grooves in them. It's from the clutch plates rubbing back and forth, and that causes for an uneven clutch play. The clutch can get hung up and it's just not smooth. They're all shot. I mean, I guess they're not shot because I'm gonna try to bring them back to life. Normally I would just get a new basket, but I'm gonna try smoothing them out, get the grooves out. That's actually a fix that you can do, and it usually works pretty well. But the inner hub also is grooved out, and that's a little bit harder to smooth out. You can get aftermarket ones for 50 bucks, which is kind of a no-brainer, but because of the budget for this series, I might try to smooth those out as well. I will make it work, I guarantee it. But that's an issue I found. The shift shaft was bent, and I went ahead and ordered a new shift shaft, and lo and behold, today I found, I guess somebody had bought a spare, and when they were gonna get ready to replace it. So I didn't even need to do that, so I'm gonna send that back. But I do have a fresh shift shaft for it. That was bent completely down, and the shifter itself was kind of effed up. It had, the toe was effed up, so I cut that off and made a custom shifter. So that's good to go. It's missing a front bumper, so I bought a new front bumper for it. Thank you to DBC Racing. Multiple broken bolts I've been finding, just snapped off bolts, and nobody took the time to drill them out or use easy outs or whatever. So I believe I've taken care of all of them. All this stuff has been really time consuming. It's like the stupid little stuff like that nobody wants to fix. Moving on, it has a bent steering stem. I'm still dealing with that. This particular quad is not very popular, and I am having trouble finding a decent steering stem for this thing. An OEM one I think is actually discontinued, and I found a couple used OEM ones, but they're so expensive, I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do. I don't like to bend steering stems straight because, you know, you're kind of playing with the structure of the metal and everything, the properties of the metal, and I want my steering stem to be strong. So if I can fit that in the budget, I definitely would like to get a new steering stem. We'll see what the hell happens with that. So moving on, you know, it's not a total piece of crap. A lot of this stuff kind of leads me to believe that it was clapped out, but the good thing is the internals of the motor are good for the most part. So like beyond the broken gear and the sludgy oil, everything else seems to be really good. All the bearings, believe it or not, felt good. I got new crank bearings. I'm not seeing any like wear marks, rub marks, anything like that. The crank is nice and tight, and all the gears and stuff actually look really good. All the dogs look good on the transmission. It was just that one broken gear. So realistically, the cams look really good. Yeah, I mean, all that stuff looks good. So realistically, this should go back together and be a solid motor. So I'm not really that worried about it. It's a straight machine. I don't see that the frame's bent or anything. The A-arms don't look bent. The wheels are all straight, it seems like. So that's a good thing. Got that going for it. And also every single bearing is tight. The bearing carrier is tight. The swing arm bearings are tight. The A-arm bearings are tight. Even the bent steering stem is tight. It's just bent. So that's all stuff we got good for it. And it came with decent plastics, which is nice. So, I mean, overall, it shouldn't be too bad. It's just that this is, you know, we were trying to do like a budget $3,000 machine. This really isn't the best example for you guys, because for me, I'm still going to be able to get this done under $3 grand, but for most people, they're not going to be able to do it. Like if you had to take this, if you bought this machine, especially in a basket case, man, that's like the worst machine to get, because like when you take something apart, it's a lot easier to put back together. But when you receive something all apart, it's always more difficult to put it back together, especially if it's a machine you're not familiar with. So it would be a huge bill for somebody to buy one of these. Like if you wanted to buy it as a project and learn, that's one thing. But if you're just looking for a decent machine, you have to be really mechanical and handy to be able to get this thing up to you know, operating condition and still be in that $3,000 budget range. So basically what I've been doing is a lot of the stuff that I just explained, and I've been cleaning a lot of stuff. Everything on this has been super dirty. Like the sludge in the cases and everything is just all over the motor parts. All that stuff, I cleaned everything out. I cleaned the transmission. Luckily, the new cases are, they're like, they look like they're brand new. I think they're like refinished OEM takeoffs. Those I don't even have to worry about cleaning, but I did clean the cases that I took off and all that stuff. It just takes a lot of time cleaning stuff, especially off-road stuff. So I've been doing a lot of that. Cleaning, I polished the wheels and stuff because they were really crummy. You know, when stuff sits outside, it just looks like hell. So I've been doing just tons and tons of cleaning. I have a box of parts next to me. It's all the motor parts, and just cleaning all of the motor parts, I'm not really sure how many hours it took. And I didn't just clean them. I also like used like little Scotch-Brite wheels and stuff and tried to really freshen them up. I want the motor to look pretty fresh before we put it in, but I'm trying to do it as inexpensive as possible. But it's all really time consuming. And of course, the broken bolts, I surfaced the cases, the head and all that stuff. The broken shifter, I had to make that. That was, I made a custom one. That was a little bit time consuming. Rebuilding the exhaust has been taking time. I still have to weld that up. The air filter was totally thrashed. I've never seen an air filter so dirty in my life. It came with a K&N on it, and holy hell, man, the each one of the little fins was just caked with dirt. Like whoever had this quad before Joe bought it definitely did not take care of it. You could see, and that was up in the coal region. It was definitely a coal region quad, caked with coal and just not maintained. I mean, obviously they weren't changing the oil either. So that sucks, but like I said, luckily we've looked at the internals and I think we're gonna be just fine. But man, that air filter was super dirty. And then of course I rebuilt the brakes. That was a little bit time consuming, pulling the calipers apart and everything. And then I also designed the graphics. So I can't show you guys the graphics either because that's probably gonna give away the machine. They're like laid out with the exact plastic design and everything. I have AGMX, they're gonna be printing them up. And I also got them done for JST as well. I kind of did like a generic design for him, and then he's sending it off for whatever kind of machine he has. So guys, don't worry. I know some of you guys are probably worried and thinking I'm not gonna have a good machine for the 24th, but I guarantee I'm gonna bring a really nice machine to the table. I know JST has been talking a lot of shit on his Instagram page and all this BS saying that I'm gonna show up with a Mike Sabo special and it's not even gonna run and stuff. But I watched the footage that we're going to be, the footage of the trails where we're going to be doing this competition, and this quad is going to eat those trails alive. Plus, you got me riding the quad against Justin. There's really just no competition. So that's pretty much all I can tell you guys about Top Quad. I know I've been getting a hell of a lot of DMs of people asking, what the hell did you buy and what's going on? When's it going to be? When you filming? All that stuff. So I appreciate all the excitement. I really do, guys. I wish that I could show you what I'm doing. I am filming some stuff. It's not quite as detailed as like Project 250R, but all this stuff is going to be released after we do the competition. So I am still filming for you guys. I'm making stuff for you. I do apologize for a little bit of the lack of content. I'm going to try to get some other videos up for you guys in the meantime. And until then, guys, please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. If you guys want to see some more stuff, let me know in the comment section below what you want to see. Just because I don't respond to your comments doesn't mean I don't read them, guys. I don't have time to respond to every single comment, but I do read through them, and I appreciate all your comments. So make sure to give me that thumbs up. I appreciate all you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.